My name's Jonathan Boyd. I'm an artist and a jeweller, and I live and work in Glasgow. So I make jewellery and objects which are based around concepts and narratives of understanding language and object and how these things relate to us as people. And from that narrative I create jewellery and sculpture. The jewellery and the sculptures that I make are based on sort of our interaction with the everyday. So that involves photography. I'm using black and white photography at the moment. I'm using text as image, text as meaning, language as patterning, looking at how patterns in text can create image, and melding all these things together to create jewellery and sculptures. Most of them are made in oxidised silver, which gives it an inky look. So most of my pieces have this black oxidised silver, almost the look of the old lead typeface. The works I make, they go through a really sort of rigorous research methodology. So sometimes it might take me 3 or 4 months just to come up with the final idea for a piece, you know, pulling together elements of photography or ideas and concepts about language. So it takes 3 or 4 months just to design a piece sometimes. But then actually the manufacturing process, I'm really keen on never making a piece of work that I know how to make. So I use lots of different processes in each piece. So at the moment I'm using the application of image straight onto metal. I'm using complex digital processes, including really complex lost wax casting techniques. I'm using hand manufacturing techniques of old traditional craft techniques, and I'm sort of fusing them together to create these pieces. I don't like to know how to make a piece, and I don't like people knowing how the pieces are made. So I'm really interested in taking all these pieces of research on craft and how things are made and combining them with the concepts behind my work to create something that's quite unique and sort of one-off. So my inspiration has always come from language, how we communicate, you know, as people, how we communicate, how we speak to each other, the patterning of our speech, how we use text as image. And recently I've started looking at the urban environment for inspiration. You know, how do we live in this sprawling sort of mass of the city? You know, we talk to each other and that creates a patterning of speech, but also we live in this sort of atmosphere of advertising and this constant barrage of information. So taking all these sort of ideas of language and their signs and signifiers and what they mean to us and sort of trying to combine them, and basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make jewellery like fine art. I'm trying to express myself and how I understand the world through the creation of jewellery. I'm making a new body of work, mostly brooches, neck pieces, which combine this use of imagery of the urban environment with pieces of language. So because I live in Glasgow, all the photography and all the speech is coming from Glasgow, but it's not necessarily inspired by Glasgow, just the urban environment and where we live. So I've tried to keep myself restricted to quite a small colour palette of black, white and orange, because at night time that's the colour of the city. It's black, white, and then you have this fluorescent orange that lights up the streets.